right, so, uh, Dom, you were out last week, and I know that whatever wedding or event you went to, you strategically planned it to try to avoid being arrested by the
Yeah,
Furies.
it just
I know you meticulously timed it, but listen, the women of justice operate on their own time, okay? And
Mhm, mhm,
they'll arrest a bitch when she ain't there, okay? But
mhm.
I feel that you at least need to know what happened.
Okay.
I think we all want to know what happened. So we will resume play with the conclusion of the Nether Seas Coliseum. You are invisible to everyone except those with true sight. And during the hubbub of the boss rush event ending, you were confronted by three women. All right, so we will deal with that. So let's see. Yes, three women. There we go. And I guess we could unpause the game, and I guess we'll change the music out real quick too. Let's see. Just go with tense negotiations from Bardify. That's always a good one for talking it out. All right.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Just having a quiet chat with the police. No big deal. All right. Yeah, there we go. You know it's good when it starts with someone having a heart attack. All right. So down on the arena floor, the arena is in storage, so we're just gonna theater the mind it. A familiar woman appears. The eye patch wearing, white-haired, feather and wing monochromatic favoring lady. Uh, a big dragon lady covered in Nergigante spikes and spines, and then a more demonic looking individual who seems to be the the de facto leader of the trio.
Mhm.
Um, like otherworldly beings who have time magic do, when they appear, of course, Maya, your very high perception and insight kicks in, and you realize that, like, all around you, the world has gone still. Even the gods who were in attendance to this spectacle seem to have either been frozen in time or have slowed almost imperceptibly, like to the speed of growing trees, kind of thing.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah. So the the three women look at you, and the most demonic of the three stares at you. Her eyes glowing red, leaving light trails behind because they're so damn bright. And she says, "Maya, Darien that was Queen of Themis, champion of Thylea. We think it's time for a talk. Would you join us?"
Uh,
And she extends an armored and clawed hand to you.
Alright. Maya will take a moment to like kind of look around and noticing that the world is frozen, and uh will kind of square her shoulders and say yes, I'll glad to have a talk.
So
And she'll grab her hand.
as you grab her hand, you disappear, and you reappear somewhere in the Nyx. You find yourself in the center of like an ancient pavilion. Its roof has long since fallen to pieces, crumbled, and been dragged away. The pillars that once supported it Some still stand, others have fallen. The earth itself seems to be in a constant state of decay and movement, being steadily pulled away from itself. You can see that the ground is torn asunder, and great cold iron chains seem to be bolted in place to hold what little landmass is here in place. You sense a great magic here, and you realize that this is a cell of sorts.
Okay.
The three women stand apart from you, maybe 15, 20 feet, give or take. Each of them is armored in their own way, and each of them is bearing a bladed bow that looks like two swords that were sort of like stuck together to be a bow. A quiver that contains no arrows, either on their back or at their side, and a long coil of rope or chain at the ready. Each of them has wings, one angelic, one demonic, and one draconic. And the largest of the group has a long, sinuous tail that is constantly in motion and whipping about. The smallest and the largest seem to be deferring to the medium-sized woman for direction. So she looks at you and says, I am known as Megara. This is my sister Lecto, who you've already met, and Tisiphone, my other sister. We are the Furies. Carry out the will, goddess. Enforce her wishes upon the world. Ensure she is not burdened or troubled with doubts. We are her law manifest.
Maya nods.
Maya, I find it very interesting that you are the champion of Thylea. Many have claimed such a title, and some have even gained power from such devotion. But you are different. Thylea actively dreams of you. This is unusual, but then unusual is sort of the nature of what you are. An anomaly. I'm sure by now, someone has told you as you are, what the heroes of prophecy are, and what they represent.
That we are outside of fate.
Yes, you are anomalies of fate. Mistakes. You are not supposed to be here. You could probably understand how, as embodiments of law,
You cut out for me right at the end there.
Oh, she says, you should be able to understand how disgusting we find you.
Oh,
You are far worse than weeds in a garden. You are a pestilence.
see.
You and your friends, you continue to spit in the face. All...
You're cutting out a lot.
I'm cutting out a lot. Oh man.
Maybe keep your mic closer.
Okay, hold on. Let me
Yeah.
testing.
All right.
Is that any better?
I can hear you.
You can hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. She says, you and your friends continue to spit in the face of all that the great goddess has built. You pretend at being a champion while making a mockery of everything she is. Why? Why do you do this to Mother?
Mockery of everything she is.
Yes. She is order. She is a world perfectly created, perfectly birthed into reality. Everything in this world is designed around an ideal, a plan. You and the others, you don't belong here. There are strangers, outsiders who find their way here through happenstance or misfortune. But they are foretold. Their threads eagerly woven into the tapestry of fate. Yet for you and the other four, not a single thread exists. You are other, different. You represent risks that can ill afford to be entertained. Yet, I wait, hour after hour and day after day. But her command never comes. To wipe you out, to eradicate you. And I know why. It is because she fears you. She fears what you and yours would do if confronted. She is your prisoner. A prisoner to your fearful nature. I wanted to look upon you for myself. I wanted to see what it is that Mother fears so much. All I see is a girl in over her head. Is that all you are?
Possibly. I can't. I'm not on the strings of fate, so no one knows.
And that is the problem? What do you want, Maya?
Peace.
Peace. For who? There is only one peace that matters. Mother's peace. Peaceful sleep. Peace of mind. You rob her of both.
There is the destruction that Sidon is rotting. The beasts and monsters that Lutheria stops from coming in. The things that are locked in those cubes down in nether seas. Are those also part of fate? They're supposed to happen?
Yes. A dreamer
So
is bound to have nightmares. That is why Lutheria, above all the others, was given the honor of protecting Mother from such horrors. Mother is
Sidon?
bountiful. It is only natural that mortals and gods alike would greedily fight for her bountiful gifts. Sidon fights hardest, for he is born of those fruits, and feels a divine birthright to claim them. None blame the settlers, the natives, the mortals, for wanting to live, for wanting to take what they can. But it is of no concern to Mother how that plays out. She is strong. She will endure. She knows she will. Fate has decreed it. But one thing she cannot be sure of is you.
Mm.
If you
Oh.
want peace, it is simple. And she very quickly kind of pulls a blade from her belt and like throws it at your feet. And she says, "End your life here and now. One less unruly pestilence in the garden."
That would bring peace to all of Thylea's children.
When you say that, Electo finally speaks up and says, "Sister, this is madness. You cannot toy with something so dangerous. Look ahead and see. If she dies here, the truth will be found. Her allies will be radicalized against everything we stand for. You told me that we would bring her here to talk to her, to learn of her intent, and nothing more. To do anything else is an abuse of our power and position. When she says that, Tisiphone, the big dragon lady, scoffs and says, if she will not kill herself, I would gladly kill her here. I will deliver her corpse to her companions as a warning. I will offer them a chance to leave this world and take with them their unruly chaos. Megara looks from one sister to the other, then looks back to you, and says, in this, the youngest is right. I have overstepped. You still bear the title of champion. My concern for Mother drove me to emotions. I am sorry.
I think all of us here want peace on Thylea. But I think what peace means is very different to the both of us. Can I ask, how long have you been watching us?
Since before you were born.
Mm.
The prophets and the oracles, they saw a great tearing of reality, a blackening of the skies, rains of fire, destruction. Many thought the 5 gods were this catastrophe, but they were only the heralds. It is you, the others, the heroes of prophecy, a mockery, if ever I heard one. You are the calamity. You are the end of this world. You are the death of Mother, and the end of all things that we love and protect.
Is that the only possibility?
She lets out sort of almost like a frightened laugh, and she says, how would I know? Nothing makes sense. Not when you're involved.
So you don't know if what you're saying right now, us being the death of Mother, you don't know that for sure.
As you say that, she starts breathing a little bit faster, and she sort of looks away from you. And then Tisiphone says, we know that you're involved, and that there is nothing to say. How? Based on everything you've done, and everything you're capable of doing, based on the fear that you instill in the gods, in the immortals, in the fates themselves, it would be best to remove you from the board. We cannot afford such a risk. But then Alecto says, but perhaps we must. They are involved, yes, but perhaps for good. Maybe these 5 exist outside of fate to stop some fated end. What have we to lose but to leave them and watch, sisters?
when through my travels, I've heard, I don't know if this is true, but I've heard that Mother made this world when she slept after running from something. My understanding it was supposed to be her father.
When you say that, all three of them look at you, sort of like, how would you know that kind of thing. And Megara says, we do not speak of that. She is safe now. She is safe from him. He can never find her. He can never hurt her. She is safe.
Is that written in fate?
Yes! Or it was. Till you. Till them. Now, it's all coming undone. The threads tangle. Everything you touch, everything you do, it starts to unravel. Don't you understand? There can be no fate. There can be no destiny. There can be no prophecy. Not with anomalies. You're ruining everything.
I wonder if this anomaly that I am is there to stop that end.
She says, you have kept your calm and poise in the presence of something greater than the divine. I respect you for that. You are not cowed. You are not repentant. You're only curious. That curiosity is a danger. I will return you. But I will leave you in Mother's care. Know this. I watch, always. If any of you give me a reason, I will come for you. I and my sisters will unmake you.
I understand. And the reason why I maintain my composure, amongst you three, is because I know that you guys are doing this to protect Mother.
She strides towards you and puts out her clawed, armored hand. And says,
no hesitation, Maya grabs it.
All right. As you do, you find yourself in the shadow of Thylea's heart tree. Nearby, turtles just vibing. Animal sounds all around. Megara places a hand on the trunk of the mighty tree. Closes her eyes. She turns and looks at you and says, Thylea didn't make the world. She is the world.
Mm-hmm. took me a while to understand that. I understand it now.
If you are truly her champion, you must know her best interests, that you might keep them in mind. She desires safety. She desires rest. Sleep undisturbed. She has stewards who carry out her will, guardians who protect her from harm. She has no interest in the small, short lives of those who crawl upon her surface. You and your druids, you are custodians, nothing more. You may have to make some difficult decisions. Decisions that might put you at odds with your fellowship. I hope that Mother is in your thoughts when you act and decide on a path forward.
She nods.
Well, we have left the Nether Seas before your companions. You will have time to commune, to pray. But I have no doubt they will come for you. Their love is blind and foolish, especially when it comes to you. You are their weakness. And then Alecto says, and their strength. And Megara nods and says, we shall depart. There are many wicked beings who require our administrations. And then, one by one, they start to fly away. Alecto is the last to go, and she approaches you, though you can tell that she is frightened of you. And she says, I believe in you and the others. Please, don't make me die a fool. And she flies off.
Maya will take a heavy sigh, release the tension, and sit down.
Okay. And then you could assume that you would have like 3-ish days or so just to kind of vibe on the island and try to collect your thoughts and make sense of everything, since like you may have spells that could get you elsewhere, but it kind of sounds like your allies will be coming here for you.
Mhm.
How they could know that when you guys exist outside of Fate? The dangers of traveling with fated companions, I suppose. They don't know if the Heroes of Prophecy are coming to this island to pick you up, but they do know that the crew of the Ultros and everyone else is coming to this island in a few days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's that kind of thing. It's that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And that's where you would catch up with the rest of the group. Is there anything
Alright.
that Maya would be pursuing, like, in those 3 days?
I guess. I guess being on the island, she'll kind of just tend to the tree.
Mm.
They said we were custodians, so I think she would kind of like take that as a moment to like make sure the like she is the land, so the world, so just make sure it's nice
Mhm.
in those 3 days.
Fair enough.
Kind of explore the tree. She's never really like been here that long enough for her to like actually get to know the land here.
All right. As you do, you feel a comfort here, but also for the first time, a wariness from the natural world. And maybe it was always there, or maybe it's something that is more recent. But the animals, the plants, the the flora and fauna of this grove, they do you no harm, and nor do they flee from your presence. But there is a new timidness there in your presence.
Mhm. Okay.
All right. Oof. So, I guess we'll find out what happens next on Sunday when
Yeah.
all your companions arrive to pick you up and give you the bad news that there's only 2 days left before
You know.
the Oath of Peace ends, and there's a
Oh boy.
lot. And, yeah.
When I was watching, I was like, "Man, please just go to practice. If I find a plant, I could just travel to you guys."
What did you think about that when they chose, like, I think it was unanimously
Yeah.
to pick you to go after you and risk not stopping any of the stuff at Praxis before the pact ended? I was like, dang. I know Dom and Maya are both gonna be like so pissed. like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that is not the wise move. That is not the wise move.
She's gonna appreciate, but also be very upset.
Yeah. I mean, like the Fates or the Furies said, I mean, you are their weakness
Yeah.
and their strength. So,
Yeah. Well,
all right. Well, we got a vodcast like nowish.
right now.
So yeah,
Yeah.
give me like 5 minutes to eat my dinner.
Yeah. Do your thing.
All right. I'll see you in a few minutes.
Yeah.
All right, and thank you everybody who hung out in chat and anybody that's watching the VOD. This is just a quick thing to cover what I think is a pretty important thing in this campaign, especially with there being a champion of Thylea as one of the main 5 characters. So whether or not, also it's your discretion if the other 4 can watch this VOD or not.
Yeah. It's okay.
Okay. Then
Yeah.
you can let them know that Maya would have told them everything, and then they can watch the VOD if they want to.
Yep.
All right. I'll go ahead and end it, and we'll come back in about 5 or 10 minutes. All right.
All right.